Hi everybody and welcome to Tarot and Tea with me, Laura D, this good October afternoon, and I hope you're all really well. It's been a while since I've done a Tarot and Tea video, and I'm going to be coming back with them, working through the Major Arcana at the moment, but I'm going to be bringing some other tarot videos in as well about spreads, creating spreads and readings as well, and some other things maybe for different lunar cycles and stuff. So, but at the moment I'm here, Mrs. Fox is here in the house with the traditional Yorkshire tea and almond milk, and we're looking at the laminated deliciousness of the Empress. Check us out, we have a laminated edition. This is from the tarot conference. I just printed out a lot of the Major Arcana cards for the tarot conference. We had them on the walls, and I'm like, now I have huge size images to work with for the videos as well, but they are a bit shiny, so I guess it's catching the light a bit funny, but hopefully you can see this okay. So as always, I'm focusing on the Thoth deck, Aleister Crowley, the brain behind the Thoth deck, but yeah, Frida Harris is the art of the Thoth deck, and the artist often gets forgotten, and as an artist, let's not forget the cool artists that create these beautiful images. So the Empress, we've been so far through the Fool, the Magician and the Priestess or the High Priestess. Number 3 is the Empress, which is the 2 energies plus 1 makes 3, so we often have the family or the pregnant woman as number 3. And the Empress is without a doubt an archetype, a energy, a card of the mother, the great mother, and as such in a reading can represent motherhood and pregnancy and family. As we had with the priestess was more the inhuman, is that the right word? I'm not sure. The more distant aspect of femininity, the deep intuitive self, which can be a little bit removed from everyday life, where the Empress is the throbbing heart of the land. The Empress is life, she is the land, she is fertility, she is love. She's very much the sensual, sexual, reproductive, fertile, loving, nurturing, caring part of life. There's not much about this card which goes into mental processes or logic or intellect. There's plenty of other cards that will do that for you. This card is feeling the cycles. You've got the new moon and the dark moon on the cards, and her in the centre, the Empress in the centre as the full moon, as the fullness of femininity, the fullness of fruitfulness, not fruiting. The Empress represents the goddess Venus or the planet Venus, and in this way she is the goddess of love. But this isn't romantic love so much, though this can definitely come up for a nurturing, caring relationship, and can definitely come up in a reading when you need to express or explore your femininity and your sexuality more. But this is the energy of Venus, the energy of love, the energy of the heart chakra. This is also linked to Taurus, Taurian energy of the earth. So it's Venus and the earth combined, representing love, growth, nurturing of the land. You can see the colours she's wearing in this deck are pink and green, colours of the heart chakra. She is the land. There's old Celtic myths and other myths as well, which show that in ancient times the goddess would be thought of as the land, and the king, if he wanted to rule, would have to pledge himself to the goddess in a sacred marriage between the king and the goddess of the land. And she held the power of the land, and if the king was, not serving well and things were going wrong and drought and bad things were happening, then often the king would have to be sacrificed to the goddess of the land. So she held such power. I mean, the first goddesses, the first feminine energies that were connected with were these beautiful, powerful goddess figurines, creations where the goddess was part of the earth, where the goddess gave life, was the fertile goddess of the land, but also the dark, terrible mother that took life and took it back into her womb. So, I mean, I don't say terrible in a fearful way, it's just the dark mother and the bright mother, the mother that gives and the mother that takes away. And in such, even though this is mainly focusing on aspects of light energy, the motherhood aspect can be both ways and nurturing in both ways, in life and in death. And this is also shown in this part of the card here, where there's a pelican, and the pelican mother's got a nest of her little chicks, and she's plucking blood from her chest to feed the chicks. And this is a very ancient pre-Christian legend of either two ways we can look at it: a time of famine when the mother would feed her own blood to her chicks to keep them alive, to stop them from starving. So the supreme mother's self-sacrifice, really. Or there's another story where the chicks were dying or dead, and she sacrificed herself, feeding them blood to ensure they would live on. So this goes with the power and the unconditional love of motherhood, that you will do anything to protect your children and to ensure that they would survive. Also brings the transformational life, death, rebirth energies of the mother goddess in with the Empress. Other symbology on here is the shield. So we have a bit of warrior, we have a bit of lineage, a bit of, you know, this is an empress. She is a woman with strength, with lineage. She has her power, she has her place. And in that way, with the aspect of the blood, with the pelican and with the shield, she's not all soft. There's nothing mushy and soppy about this image, even though it's very beautiful and flowing. There's this power of life and death and the protection of that and the strength with that and protecting what you love. So yeah, as you can see with the image, it's all about the flow. I'm going to compare it with the Emperor, which is the next video, in a second, because they make a sacred couple. The images joined together in a very complete way, the Emperor and the Empress, whereas the Emperor is static and this is how it is. The Empress is flow, and the flow of life of the river. It's almost like she's got in a riverbed here, and that she is the earth and she is the flowers coming from the earth, but she is flow and fertility. And we've got the birds there as well, and the birds, there we go, which is all about the messengers and spring and the life force. It almost feels like there's a bit of a mountain behind her. I don't think it is, but it looks for me at the moment a bit like a mountain behind her, because the Empress is the goddess of all of the land. She's the goddess of, you know, she's sitting down, she's chilling out, as every empress should, especially a pregnant empress or an empress with children that she's looking after. She's relaxing. She's holding her sort of a shape around her womb. It's sacred space. But she's also the earth, which, as you can see, the earth is in the folds of the land or in her clothes, and also the mountains behind her. She's also the moon. She's all these things that brings life to us on this earth. So if she comes up in a reading, yes, she can represent mother issues, motherhood, your relationship to your mother, your sense of nurturing, or your role as a mother, sorry, your sense of nurturing yourself and others, awakening to your femininity, treating yourself well, looking after yourself, loving yourself, opening to your sexuality, not hiding that. This is not about overthinking, overanalyzing. This is about feeling the flow and feeling alive. And the Venusian, obviously we can't forget that Venus is a goddess of love, a Roman goddess of love, and based on Aphrodite, who's Greek, based on, I'll go on about Aphrodite another time. I've got lots to tell you about Aphrodite, but yeah, so I've lost my plan of thought, so I'm thinking about Aphrodite. But yeah, she is the goddess of love, and so she is someone to talk to, connect with on matters of love. And if she does come up in a reading when you're asking about love, it is a positive sign. It may not be this passionate rah, but it could be a deep, beautiful, nurturing love, and it can be about your journey to self-love as well. So we've got this cycle, this circle, this beautiful flowing energy, and then it's kind of starting to make it manifest into more reality in the corners, like it's becoming more structured in the corners of this card. And what I like as well at the bottom here, it's a little fossil spiral at her feet. So you have this sense of going into the spiral of the earth, that life is not linear with the Empress and with the goddess. Life is a spiral going to the centre and coming back out again. I'm just going to get the smaller size Empress so we can look at the Empress and the Emperor together. Here we go. So here we are. You can see how they are sitting, how they are facing each other, how they make a complete pair of divine masculine and divine feminine. You have Aries Emperor, but we'll come back to him later for another video, and Venus the Empress. And I think she's often in a lot of other renditions of the Empress, not in this one so much. I haven't got the Rider-Waite anymore. Well, I need to buy another copy of the Rider-Waite. I keep giving it to the people when I get a Rider-Waite deck. I need to buy another copy. But with the Empress, normally in a lot of the decks, and the Rider-Waite particularly, the stars around her head, which link her to the star card as well, and to the above as well as the below. But we have the moon here doing that for us. So, in other decks, the Empress, we have in Emily Carding's Tower of the She, a beautiful card again with the moon there in the background, and with the goddess appearing as the land. Her dress is the land, is the sun, is the pregnant belly, is the flower, the fertile life. So she is the life that brings back blessings and fruits and flowers onto the earth. She is the abundance. So again, when she comes up in a reading for you, this can represent abundance as well. Woohoo! So it can represent manifesting the things you're wanting in your life and that you're looked after. And this can be a nice harvest as well, a nice harvest card. Yes, so that's another lovely, lovely rendition of the beautiful earth-loving mother that is the Empress. And one more here we'll look at. We've got, this is from the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. And the Empress there with a little fairy baby, and really bright and cheerful. It says, time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. Yeah, I didn't bring up luxury actually. Yeah, she's got a luxurious energy. We don't skimp when we have the Empress card. We don't say, oh, don't worry about me, I'll just have a bag of chips and we're going to have a nice meal. We're going to have nice wine, we're going to relax, we're going to have some luxury, we're going to go for a nice swim. These kind of feelings come up with the Empress card. If she is badly aspected, or if you read reversed cards, this can represent issues with the mother, overly protective. It can represent greed as well. I don't often read reverse. I just don't think there's that much need to, unless something really does specifically come up as I have put them all the right way and it comes up reversed. For me, I think all the cards hold so much, I don't feel the need to change the meaning for reverse. And I also, when I'm in a reading as well, I'll just get a feeling about something, if it feels like it's in a perfect, exciting way flowing, or if it feels a little bit blocked. But you may read reverse, and that's totally cool. Everyone works very, very differently. So you may feel in some ways it could be possessive, someone who's quite accumulative, obsessed with possessions, or even maybe using the body in some way that's not healthy or positive. But I rarely get that for the Empress. She's mostly, for me, this beautiful, powerfully flowing goddess of the land, goddess of beauty and love and nurturing and caring. And when this card comes up, it just feels like a nice hug, and it feels like you can treat yourself and give yourself that nice bath time, and treat yourself like the goddess that you are. And that's even for the boys, but also knowing that you will fight for what you love. You're not going to let things that you care about, or people or situations that you care about, go without being taken care of. And it's a good friend, a good partner, and a very sensual and loving, protective lover. So the Empress, the mother, the pregnant lady, the lady of birth. This is some of the meanings of it. Obviously there's more we can go into, but that's maybe a nice start to look at the element of the Empress. So experiment with your cards, and in the next edition of Tarot and Tea, we're going to be looking at her partner, for better or for worse, the Emperor.